Over 100 years ago, Sir Arthur Pearson, the founder of Blind Veterans UK, secured our first home, St Dunstan's Lodge in Regent's Park. We moved there at the end of March 1915, and for decades our beneficiaries were known as St Dunstaners. The charity was founded on Sir Arthur's principles and his belief that sight loss shouldn't prevent anyone from leading the life they choose. At Blind Veterans UK, we've always supported and celebrated the principles of Sir Arthur and have taken the opportunity to recognise the achievements of blind veterans at this time of year. This year, we want to celebrate the spirit of so many of our veterans and the way that they've overcome the challenges of the pandemic. Our veterans talk about joining the Blind Veterans UK family, and this year has seen that family support each other and the wider community more than ever, and in many ways. Veterans like Gary, who's been virtually training and supporting others to learn skills such as wood turning.
Gary's so grateful to the charity, he's now giving back as a volunteer with IT support and telephone befriending.
Oh, it brings me a massive fulfilment. It's very empowering for me. Before I lost my sight, I never used to do things like this. I was too busy working and, family life took over. But all of a sudden now I've got time, so I'm spending my time wisely now and taking great fulfilment in everything that I do.
Hundreds of veterans have also been supporting each other by simply picking up the phone and making a call. Knowing that a friendly voice is at the end of the line is a tonic during the isolation of lockdown. Blind veteran Simon stepped forward right at the start of the pandemic and has now made over 150 hours of befriending calls to fellow blind veterans. Barry has been supporting his local community team in welcoming a new blind veteran to the charity who joined us during lockdown. His weekly calls have been a great support to her and helped her begin to come to terms with her sight loss. When lockdown started, Sonia was concerned about those veterans who live on their own, and she helped set up 2 Buddies Club calls each week, keeping all those veterans connected. Our veterans have also set a shining example by giving back to their local communities over the last year. Normally, blind veteran Ken is a physical training instructor at his local gym. Throughout lockdown, he turned to YouTube to provide free workout videos to help people stay fit and healthy. And other veterans like John have taken more direct action to help support their local community on the ground.
At the beginning of lockdown, I had already set up a community hub. Many people were, of course, isolating at home. So we set up a local support group to deliver prescriptions to people who were isolating. Personally, along with Sydney, my guide dog, was delivering prescriptions to 120 people, covered about 500 miles on foot, delivering these prescriptions. So it certainly kept me fit.
This year, we were all inspired by the fantastic fundraising achievements of Captain Sir Tom Moore. And many blind veterans wanted to do their bit to give something back to the charity that supports them. Veterans like Colin, who walked 63 laps of his local park in time for his 63rd wedding anniversary and raised over £4,500 for Blind Veterans UK. Having a creative outlet has been so important for many of us over the last year, and our National Creative Project has supported hundreds of blind veterans to continue or even take up new hobbies. Some veterans, like Christine, decided to create art to be auctioned in support of Blind Veterans UK. After receiving support with shopping and pharmacy deliveries in the early days of lockdown, David and Jean decided to join a community of blind veterans to walk 75 miles for the 75th anniversary of VE Day as their way of giving back. The last year has been like no other, but one thing that hasn't changed is our blind veterans' ability to achieve truly amazing things and inspire us all, proving that those principles set out by Sir Arthur Pearson over 100 years ago still reflect the spirit of our blind veterans today.